Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Fatin Nur Shazwani binti Azmi. My matric number is 270299.
In today's life, most of us will often do business in any banking sector, including Islamic banking, which is also known to many for the benefits of using the services offered by Islamic banking institutions, especially the organizations compliant with the Sharia law. These include various transactions, making some loan such as for the purchase of a house, property and money savings for the investment and so on. Nevertheless, there are still many issues that arise regarding the still existence of an element of riba or something similar to it in Islamic banking. Among the issues of riba in Islamic banking, first, issue Islamic banking is being accused of being similar with conventional because it still contains usury. Number 2, issue Islamic banking is said to be cruel and oppress their consumer. So now, I'm going to peer further about the first issue stated, which is the issue of Islamic banking have been accused because of similarity with conventional. In some communities, the term interest-free banking is misinterpreted as borrowing 1,000 and paying 1,000. Thus, when Islamic banking charges for profits or services, they consider Islamic banking the same as conventional banking and are also said to oppressive for oppressing their consumers. And there are still those who think that if you save 100, the return should be more than that. This cannot be done at all because it is counted as usury unless it is a grant from the bank. So, is the profit charges from Islamic banking services can be called as usury, as many people assume. And then, what are the differentiates between the profit and usury itself? Is it the same as the conventional concept? In fact, an interest-free banking means a Sharia-based banking system that applies the concept of financing to their products. The concept of loans and financing offered has different implications from a Sharia point of view. Loans are helpful or known as akad tabaru in the form of donations. This loan agreement cannot provide additional benefits to creditors as the Prophet ﷺ said, all loans that benefit to creditors are usury. Meanwhile, the concept of financing here is commercial in nature and that allows both parties to benefit from the transaction traded. As an institution that complies with Sharia, it is clear about the prohibition of riba, gharar and maisir in the operation performed. Profits are based on cooperation and distributed fairly according to the agreement ratio. The institution will always apply Islamic values in their operations and all matters are based only on Islam and Islamic law. Islamic banking is a profit-oriented business entity, so it is normal for Islamic banking to charge a profit on financing given to customers to continue their service operation. As a business entity, it is certain that the bank will also incur various costs such as funding costs, operating costs, risk premium, and profit margins. It is impossible for a bank to provide financing at cost price and ask customers to pay the cost only. However, if the customer has difficulty making monthly payments, the customer can discuss with the bank to negotiate. In addition, every transaction takes place with the consent of the bank and the customer without any coercion. Thus, it becomes the responsibility of the customer to make a financing settlement against the bank. Furthermore, all Islamic banking matters will also be monitored by the Council member of the Sharia Advisory Committee and Sharia Audit. They are the individuals responsible for ensuring compliance with Sharia law in a bank. Next, differentiate between profit and usury. So, profit is coming from trading or selling buying, on the other hand, has its benefits and losses depending on one's ability to run his business. The profits obtained are pleasing to Allah and even the people are pleased with him. This is the difference with usury. While riba or usury occurs when there is a delay in receipt or delivery. These delays incur additional charges. So this is what we call as riba. The overpayment charge is counted as non-halal profit. It often happens that customers always blame Islamic banking when they fail to settle financing with the bank, whereas Allah says in Surah An-Nisa verse 29, meaning, "O you who believe, do not eat or use your wealth among yourself in a wrong way, like cheating, gambling, and so on, except with the way of business done. Love one another and do not kill one another." Next, I'm going to explain about the second issue, which is about the issue of Islamic banking is said to be cruel and oppress their consumers. In this context, there are many general questions about whether extra charges services, such as ATM machine, that charge a deduction rate of 1 ringgit to make any transactions, and whether the penalty given by the bank is also considered usury, thus also showing oppression to the consumers. So this issue has also led Islamic banking to accept allegations that this institution is just the same as conventional. This is often due to the confusion of information about Islamic and conventional institution. As we know, Islamic banking is also a business entity that needs funds for rolling their business, and it is logical that the institution impose a few late payment charges or penalties as a warning to those who delay their payments. However, the charges are not like conventional institutions. Central Bank of Malaysia (BNM) only allows Islamic banking to charge at the rate of 1% per annum, or according to the Islamic interbank money market rate, if the facility has expired and this charge is not double. In contrast to the conventional, the fines imposed are not based on the actual cost. In fact, the fines are double and cause the amount of consumer debt to increase. And this is what has just been said as operation because it burdens consumer. So it is clear that Islamic banking is not cruel and oppress any consumers, but helps to maintain their welfare. Therefore, the establishment of Islamic banking is the best method especially for Muslims, as narrated in Hadith Darul Qutni, which is 1 dirham of riba taken by a person, then his sin in the sight of Allah is greater than 36 times the adultery zina he committed in Islam. In conclusion, we must acknowledge that there are various improvements that need to be made by Islamic banking before reach the ideal and perfect institutional level. However, to say that the Islamic banking system that exists today is cruel and deliberately oppresses their customer by imposing expensive charges is very unfounded. Therefore, in order to maintain the good name of the Islamic banking system, efforts need to be intensified among academics and industry practitioners to educate the public on the differences and advantages of the Islamic financial system compared to the conventional system. This is a shared responsibility that must be shouldered to ensure that defamation does not spread against Islamic banking institutions that still have to compete with the conventional system. And it should be noted, Islamic banking is more transparent and often upholds the noble values of the individuals as well as universal justice for the whole of society. That's all from me. Thank you.